Not his door.
So which
Before going to West Point, we went to his Whitney Hall, and the person was not provided. So what we did, we went to West Point. When we went to West Point,
the person who claimed that you brought to us then to court?
For sure, the person was not provided. It was later on the person came. When we went to West Point, the guy that we bought the door from, we could not find him. Probably he going to a normal business. He's a human being.
He claiming that this is not the first time you people killing his dog.
That's a false allegation. If at all we go to the law and he proved all guilty, we will waiting to be facing justice. But if we go to the law and we are not found guilty, we sue a lawsuit against him. Yes.
Even though you put a dog, but it was not his dog.
For sure, we know Mr. Peter's dog.
But then why you think he leveled any allegation against you people?
The reason for we the man is leveling allegation against us. Yesterday, when we went to his house, because his brother in question, okay, David, that brought us here, have 50 United States.
We are gonna ask me, I say you gotta provide one car, two motor for my people. Party! We are not hesitate. That we in there. Yeah. Party! We are not hesitate. That we in there. Yeah. Two motor for my people. Party! We are not hesitate. That we in there. Yeah. Dina yo. No. For my people. Party! We are not hesitate. That we in there. Yeah. Dina yo. No.
Good afternoon and a pleasant welcome to Freedom Hub on 87.9. This is the official voice of Freedom Communications Incorporated. My name is Kai Oliver Kai. I'm here today on the Wednesday's presentation with a lot of trending issues making the news in our country, Liberia. Good news at long last. Liberia is going to get connected in a couple of minutes to a very sustainable energy grid. The CLSG project was today signed in Abidjan, La Côte d'Ivoire. This will bring to bed a stable electricity to the country. This will encourage investors to do more in terms of investing in our country, Liberia, since there is going to be availability of sustainable, affordable, reliable energy beaming from the lines of CLSG between Liberia and Côte d'Ivoire. And of course, this project is extending across the Mano River Basin with Guinea, Sierra Leone, Liberia, and La Côte d'Ivoire benefiting from the CLSG electricity project. Good news! Liberia's Finance Minister Samuel Twe is the head of the Liberian delegation there in Abidjan, La Côte d'Ivoire, and so we're going to be bringing you some update on that event, hopefully by tomorrow. On Honorable Joe Newman Boaka, Liberia's former vice president, justified. He was able to justify his statement of squandering opportunities when he appeared on the quote unquote the quote on and unquote. I repeat, when he appeared on the platform, the Class Reloaded platform, right here in the nation's capital. Too many things he said. A lot of contradictory statements, a lot of issues that would not make sense, a lot of issues that will anger Liberians, a lot of issues that Liberians would not want to listen to. And so he was able to reiterate. Honorable Joseph Boaka had told us clearly that his government squandered too many opportunities, and in his statement, in his quest to exonerate himself, in his quest to preach a very clean politics and presenting himself as the best option, was able to indict former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Bibi Boaka said Ellen squandered too many of the opportunity, and jointly, the both of them squander Liberians' opportunity. We're gonna have a few bars of our theme song. When we come back, we run into the first segment. If you're there in District 9, for those of you in Matadi, all of you somewhere around the Lakpasi Zoo, and those of you all the way there in District number 9, the Plunkar area, all of the places associated with District 9, if you're around Sachs, around the KTC belt, if you're all the way around FE Shortcut, your representative aspiring, Honorable Fubi Henrys, is going to be our guest. And during the course of the second segment, we're going to be playing host to Fubi Henrys. Fubi Henrys of the Alternative National Congress, and by now he should be flagging the ticket of the CPP in District number 9 as we go closer to the 2023 presidential and general elections. Fubi is our guest when we return from our break after the first segment. So by 5:05 today, at most by 5:10 today, we're going to be having Fubi Henrys, the former representative candidate and a representative aspiring in the area of District number 9, Montserrat County. Too many things happening. We're going to take a few bars of our theme song. We have words from our sponsors, and by the time we return, we're going to be looking into a confession that was made by old man Joe Boaka when he appeared on the Class Reloaded, the quote and unquote Class Reloaded.
Yo, hello. I want to talk about violence. More violence is indiscriminate. It can happen for any reason and to anyone. Until we do something to stop the sort of vigilante-style justice in this country, none of us will be safe. My Liberia is Liberia of hope. In my Liberia, it is possible. Violence is not part of my Liberia. Violence leads to property damage, injury, or even death, as we are seeing recent months in several parts of Liberia, including Monrovia. Talk to people in your community about violence. Stand up against mob justice. Be a community hero. Liberia is all that we have. We must all unite to uphold the rule of law. Thanks for listening. This is Old Man Sam Stein.
Okay, so welcome back to the program Freedom Hub on 87.9, the official voice of Freedom Communications Incorporated. To those of you following us from across the world, we want to say welcome. All of you in the diaspora, yeah, especially my people in the United States, those of you in Canada, Australia, the rest of Europe, and those of you in Asia, whether you're in China, in Taiwan, in Hong Kong, in Japan, those of you in Cambodia and the rest of it. For those of you in the Middle East, if you're in Abu Dhabi, the capital of the United Arab Emirates, or you're there in the tourism hub of the world, Dubai, if you're in Kuwait, in Saudi Arabia, for those of you in Baghdad, those of you in Pakistan, those of you in the rest of the Bangladeshi region, wherever you are, however you're joining the conversation, it is a wonderful thing to have you. Welcome to the radio at about this moment here on 87.9. Now, too many things we've been looking into over the period, and we want to be grateful to God as a people and country that we are moving at the level at which we are. So good news coming up. In the coming days, the entire country is going to be connected to the CLSG power line. That current came back. The people who living in Maryland County, those who are in Nimba, can attest to how stable that power is, how stable that current is. And so the government of Liberia on today was able to sign up to the CLSG project, which is intended to provide affordable and sustainable energy to people living in Liberia, so that their businesses, their jobs, their homes will be brightened. You will have power energizing their production, and it is going to help boost the local economy and improves what we will brand as security. So that's a good news for all of us in the country, and so we want to acknowledge that which was done. Consistently, we're going to be providing what we believe should be the role of the Liberian government, specifically the Ministry of Lands, Mines, and Energy, the Liberian Renewable Energy Agency, and the Liberia Electricity Corporation, to be supervised by the Liberian Energy Regulatory Authority. These are three entities we're going to be talking about, and so that's exactly what it is. Now, so we're grateful for that project, and we hope in the coming days, all over Monrovia and across the entire country, we'll start to get connected to the power line, so that at least Liberia can start to look like a wonderful country at night. So that's a wonderful news for our people, and it is an important thing that we will want to acknowledge. Now, there is something going on in Magibi County that I thought to throw a little bit of light on today, and we'll talk more about it by tomorrow. And so the United States Treasury Department was able to designate few officials of the Liberian government for this issue of sanctioning and whatever the case is. Now, under our laws, an individual is presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of competent jurisdiction. What that means is that he or she should be given their day in court. They should have the chance to plead guilty or not. They should have the chance to defend themselves. They should have the chance to go through the legal process. In the absence of that, on the mere basis of accusation or, decisions being made by reputable entities across the world, it is so unfair for people to brand people as criminals, as being guilty in the absence of, real due process. There is a group that is believed to be connected to the former Speaker of the House of Representatives and current Senator of Magibi County, Honorable James Emmanuel Nukwe. We are told that the group is organizing themselves to disrupt a planned campaign activities that is scheduled to take place in Kakata, Magibi County by former Minister Nathaniel Fallow McGill. That is what we are told. The name of the group, is the NRRT, the NRRRT, and according to them, their intention to go and disrupt. In their own words, they say the 28th is dead upon arrival because we will raise our people's conscience from docility to militancy. The momentum is gearing up, and we want to advise our mothers and sisters, fathers and brothers, not to risk their children's safety. So, according to them, They're advising the people of Kakata not to risk the safety of their children, of their brothers, of their mothers and fathers, in such a way that they are asking the people not to come out, not to go and grace the occasion. Not only are they warning people, but they are threatening people that if they are to attend that gathering, there is a likelihood that their lives will be at risk, because this group, NIRRT, will do everything possible to disrupt the campaign activities. Now, this is where I come in as a public opinion leader. The country is fragile, and we're thankful that we're making significant gains in consolidating the peace of our country. For a group of people to want to deprive another group of people from associating is by itself a violation of their human rights and the rights given to them under the laws of our country as contained in the Constitution of Liberia. No group of individuals in this country should be deprived of associating, of assembly, of having, themselves to gather for their common good, except their gathering will pose threat to the peaceful coexistence of others and to the general security of the country. Anything other than that, every single Liberian, all groups in this country have their right under the Constitution with protection given to organize themselves and do whatever they want to do. If people from Margibi County, specifically in Kakata, want to go and endorse Minister Nathaniel Mangill, it is their business. If they choose to want to vote Mangill to be their senator, let them decide. If a group of people who decide that Mangill should not be our senator, they too have the right to go and vote against him, to go and campaign against him when campaign is being declared open. But to say because you don't want Mangill, and so when Mangill go to Kakata to organize his program, you're going to disrupt the program. You're threatening the people that when they assemble, casualty will be meted out against them. It's totally wrong, and we should not encourage such a practice in the country. Remove Mangill, remove Honorable James Nukwe, and you will understand that nowhere in this country should any group of people threaten another group of people because those individuals will choose to put themselves together for a common cause. We don't want to do that, right? If the friends of Austin Kawa want to gather in Broadville, for example, and you have the friends of Kanye in the same Broadville, look, if we don't want to vote for Austin to be the representative for Broadville area, all we need to do is to tell the people why we think he should not be. But to want to go and disrupt Austin programs is by itself a recipe for chaos. And as a country that is striving so dearly to consolidate our peace and recalibrate as a nation, it is totally impossible. It is totally uncalled for. It is inappropriate for us to nurture these kinds of statements. It is wrong. Forget the issue of Mangill being involved. If Alexander Cummings is going to any part of this country, he should be allowed to go there and do his politics at all levels. If you don't want him, you campaign against him, but you don't have the right to stop him from going to a particular place. If Joe Bwaka will want to go to this place to campaign, you have the right to tell people how Joe Bwaka is not fit for the presidency, to tell him what you think, he's not worth doing. You can say that, you can campaign, you can do whatever when campaign has been declared open, but to say Bwaka people will not come yet. Y'all who say you want to support Bwaka when you come here, it will be fighting, or y'all do it at your own race. It is wrong. You don't want to render the country vulnerable. You don't want to create a situation that could put the peace of our country in serious situation. And so we are asking Honorable Nukwe. This group is believed to be a group that hold a lot of, loyalty and allegiance to you. This group, according to them, they are your foot soldiers. When they are threatening to stop another prominent citizen of your county from having their political activities, it should claim your attention because it is not a good sign. It doesn't say anything good about our peace and security. So you as an individual should do everything in your power to ensure that you put your guys in order. Hey, you can, if it is from you, Mr. Nukwe, if you do not have interest in wanting Natana Mangio to be a senator who will co-preside with you over the Senate as it relates to Maigibi County, there are ways you go about campaigning. But if you were set and allow your guys to threaten violence, it won't say anything good about you as a peaceful person. I'm not too sure you sanctioned that. I'm not too sure you approved that statement that was issued by your guys. If you did, then trust me, it was not the only good fit. In the supreme interest of coexistence and peace in this country, we will always want to ask stakeholders, especially politicians, to refrain from nurturing statements that are chaos prone, statements that got the ability to degenerate the issues into too many things that we cannot contain. And so I just thought to flip on that for a couple of minutes. Everybody should have the right in this country to assemble, in as much as that person is not infringing the right of the other people. If you say if the person Mangio is a U.S. sanctionee or whatever the case is, he should not be given a chance to be elected. You channel that through your campaigns. Let the people know. Go and campaign. Do it peacefully. But they want to stop, somebody devil or somebody God, somebody angel or somebody, taboo. So you cannot stop people. You cannot compel people to like what you like. There are people who hate what you do not hate. All right? So life is all about people's personal choices. So if they choose to vote him and you think he's not the best person to be, go and campaign against him. But you should not use your office. You should not use, don't allow them to use your cloud, to instill fear and try to subject the peace of our country, to some vulnerable, situation. And so that's exactly what I choose, to put forth on this first segment. Now, with this said, we go to the last conversation before we take our calls, and I'm sure our man Fubi Henry should be around. In 2017, former Vice President Joe Boakai granted an interview with journalists in the country. And he was asked as to why you won't be president after you and President Salif think you will be aspiring this year. Why you want to replace Madam Salif? When you've been vice president for 12 years in this country, why will you still want to be a president of the country? Oban Joe Boakai told journalists, after he provided all of the reasons why he wanted to be president, he was, I don't know whether he was honest or like the lady who normally said that God beating them so, or whether God was beating him, but he was bold enough to have informed the journalists who were present that their government, in the case of Unity Party government, squandered too many opportunities that were, intended to better the lives of the Liberian people. So on the basis of the opportunities that were squandered by his quote and unquote Unity Party government, he thought it wise to correct the mistakes that they made. In the wisdom of Joe Boakai, his government for 12 years blundered. His government squandered too many opportunities. They were unable to utilize the glorious opportunities they inherited for the common good of the Liberian people. And so that's how he said our government squandered several opportunities. Fast forward. In 2022, just last week, right? Honorable Joe Newman Boakai appeared on the Class Reloaded, an online talk show organized by a few group of politicians from the Unity Party, the Liberty Party, and other folks who are opposing the George Weah's administration. Honorable Joe Boakai on that platform justified. He provided supportive statements towards his initial, utterance that he made in 2017 relative to our government squandering opportunities. This is what Joe Boakai said. I'm going to play it for you. And trust me, if you listen to what the puppet said, you will feel so terrible about yourself. You will feel so bad.
Opportunity for the first African female president. She was the darling of the world. We could have used that effectively. And that's what I'm talking about. We could have capitalized on that. When Nancy Pelosi came there and said, Ellen, you led the world with light Liberia. There was going to be electricity. I was going to exploit all of those things there. There were a lot of things we could have done. I'm not saying that we didn't do, but we could have done much, much more. That's why I'm saying we squandered opportunity. And we could have done more on roads. We could have done more. Even the young people that follow, we could have plugged them from behind by training them. They were looking for opportunities. So squander didn't mean squander money necessarily, but when you have a chance to do something and you don't do it well, you squander an opportunity. The people here are quick to misunderstand, but they...
Okay, so are you listening to Omen Joe Boakas? This is a clear, broad day confession. I repeat, the statement made here, the statement contained in this audio is a clear manifestation of how the Omen decided to openly confess opportunities that were squandered. I will play it bit by bit and do the interpretation so you understand exactly what the Omen said. Listen.
Opportunity for not for that. When Nancy Pelosi came there and said, Ellen, you led the world with light Liberia. There was going to be electricity. I was going to exploit all of those things there. There were a lot of things we could have done. I'm not saying that we didn't do.
Okay, so you're hearing Joe Boakas? The man is saying, when Nancy Pelosi, the current speaker of the U.S. Congress, when Nancy Pelosi visited Liberia under their administration, according to him, Nancy Pelosi told President Salif that, hey, Ellen, because you've lighted up Liberia, I mean, you are a light and you need to light Liberia. In the opinion of